Hello Stampers, welcome to another Rubber Redneck video tutorial. I'm going to be demonstrating how to make this fun notepad holder. It uses the stamp set called Gently Falling. This is the front view, and then when you open it up, here is the inside. And it fits a notepad that is 3.5 inches by 8 inches. I got these at Michael's in the dollar bin. So we're going to create the base, and then I'm going to show you how to decorate the front. You want to cut one piece of River Rock cardstock. You want to cut that at 8.5 by 8.5. Then lay it onto the Simply Scored and score it at 4 inches and then at 4.5 inches. Once you have those scored, then fold the cardstock on the scored lines and crease it down good. And it's kind of like a book is what you're creating. Then you want to cut one piece of Tangerine Tango cardstock, and you want to cut that at 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. So cut that at 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. Then cut one piece of more mustard cardstock at 3.5 by 4 inches. You're going to run it through the Big Shot with the Argyle embossing folder to give it this textured background. I love that textured look. Then you're just going to take some of your liquid glue and you're going to attach the more mustard cardstock to the Tangerine Tango. Now it doesn't matter which end of the Tangerine Tango cardstock you use. Once you put the more mustard on there, then this will become your bottom of your cover here. Then you want to cut one piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. And you want to cut that at 3.5 by 4 1/4. Then you're going to take the stamps from Gently Falling, ink them in More Mustard and Lucky Limeade, and stamp them around the edges. Then you're going to take the outline part. This is a 2-step stamp set, which that means it has 2 images to complete the final image. You're going to take the outline stamp, ink it in River Rock, and stamp over the top of the More Mustard ones. Then I took the outline again from Gently Falling, inked it in chocolate chip, and stamped it randomly onto the Very Vanilla cardstock. I used the netting background stamp, inked it in River Rock, and then stamped on the entire piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. Then using the River Rock ink pad, I sponged the edges of the Very Vanilla cardstock. Then once you have that completely stamped, then you're going to glue this to your Tangerine Tango cardstock. And you just want to glue it, like I said, at the top of the Tangerine Tango. Line up your edges, and you're going to overlap onto the More Mustard cardstock just a little bit. Then you want to cut one piece of Orchard Harvest designer paper, and you want to cut that at 2 inches by 3 3/4. You're going to apply some glue onto the back, and then you're going to just attach that over the cardstock, the 2 pieces of cardstock, and you're going to line up your edges with the Tangerine Tango cardstock. Once you have this on there, then you want to take some 1/2 inch Very Vanilla seam binding, and you're just going to place a glue dot on the end and place that a little ways towards the bottom of that designer paper and attach that onto the back of the Tangerine Tango. Then just cut off your ribbon off your roll, and then you're going to apply another glue dot onto the back on the other end of the seam binding, the Very Vanilla seam binding ribbon, and wrap it around and secure it onto the back of the Tangerine Tango cardstock. Then you want to cut some of this Tangerine Tango 1/2 inch scallop polka dot ribbon. You're going to flip it over and use the side without the dots. Place a glue dot on the end, and then you're going to attach it over the top of the Very Vanilla seam binding. Just wrap it around, and then cut off the excess. And then you're going to skewer the end with another glue dot. And you just want to slightly overlap that Very Vanilla 1/2 inch seam binding ribbon. Then once you have that ribbon on there, then you want to take the Big Shot and the Autumn Accents die, and die cut out a piece of chocolate chip cardstock. Then you're gonna run the little leaf through the big shot again with the houndstooth embossing folder. Then you wanna take and add some stamping dimensionals onto the back of that leaf, and you're gonna attach that. I just put one in the center. You're just gonna attach that right over here onto the left side, overlapping all the ribbon. And you want it just to hang off just a little, not too far. Then you want to take the stamps from Gently Falling, ink them in More Mustard, and stamp onto Very Vanilla Cardstock and Lucky Limeade, and stamp it onto Very Vanilla Cardstock. Then take your outline image again, ink it in River Rock, and stamp on top of the More Mustard leaf. Then cut out your little leaves, and then you're going to add some stamping dimensionals onto the back again. And you're going to just place them onto the chocolate chip leaf. And once you have your little leaves attached, you then want to take your Very Vanilla seam binding, and you're going to create a bow out of the ribbon. And I like to leave all my ribbon on the spool, so then that way I waste a little bit less ribbon. And then once you have your bow, you just cut off your tail off the roll. And then that way you waste less ribbon. And then once you've created your little bow, you're going to attach that over the leaves with a glue dot. So just put them down here on the bottom and attach it with a glue dot. Now you're going to glue this to the front of the River Rock cardstock. So you're going to glue the Tangerine Tango. And you're going to place that right onto the River Rock cardstock. And you want to make sure to place it so it's in between the edge and your score line here. So now you have this so far. Now to finish decorating it, you want to take one of the designer buttons in the brushed bronze, and then you're going to add a glue dot to the back of the button and place that right in the center of that Very Vanilla ribbon. Then you're going to take and make a bow out of the linen thread. Again, you're going to use a glue dot, and you're going to place that right in the center of the button, and you're going to attach that linen bow right to that glue dot over on the top of the button. And that completes the front of this. And then you want to take your notepad, and on the back you want to apply some sticky strips. So you're just going to put some strips of sticky strip on there. And then you're going to place that inside on the River Rock cardstock. Now you want to place that so it's on the opposite side of what you decorated. So you don't want to put it on this side, you want to put it on the right side of the River Rock. And then once you have that on there, just press down tight, and then now you've completed the Gently Falling notepad. Thank you for watching.